What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Top 5 Podcast, a show where every week we choose a topic and give you a top 5 ranking. I'm your host, Ron McNerney, and joined me today are my best friends, Zach Blenner,
What's up?
Colin Harding,
I'm not even here.
yeah, it's a face reveal, and Matt Bush.
Hey, baby.
Today's topic is all about our upcoming favorite 2021 releases in video games specifically, because 2022 did not have a whole lot out. We pretty much played the same 3 games for pretty much the entire year, so there's a lot to look forward to this year.
Some of us played less than that.
Yeah. But boys, are we ready?
Yeah.
Sir.
I'm kicking it off this week with my number 5 pick, Far Cry 6.
Interesting.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's actually kind of interesting to me.
Yeah. There hasn't been any gameplay out to my knowledge, but knowing that I don't know the actor's name, but the
You
dude,
just call him Gus.
yeah, Gus from Breaking Bad being the antagonist of the game has me all types of excited. Because he's a fantastic actor, and we've been seeing a lot more actors and actresses going into like the video game world, and we're getting Vin Diesel in the next Ark game. Like, hello, I know Matt's hyped for that.
Well, wasn't he just for the trailer? I don't think he's actually going to be a character.
I think
from
he
what I
is, and
read.
I believe he's actually helping development of the game too.
Oh wow.
Yeah, if I'm
I
correct
don't
on
know
that.
anything about it.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. There hasn't been like a god awful Far Cry game. There's been some.
I don't think there's ever been a bad one.
There hasn't been one that's like, like I don't know. I mean,
I
probably
really
they
like
haven't
Blood
beat-
Dragon,
they haven't
even
topped,
though that
they
wasn't
haven't
necessarily
topped
standalone.
3. They've made ones that like haven't held my interest. Like I never finished.
honestly, I cannot go back and replay 3 though. I know with the what was it, Far Cry 5, they had like a bundle, or no, they just remade Far Cry.
Well, the
3
remaster was
or
like
ported.
actual garbage. Like
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
was
It was
optimized
just
like
a
shit.
port. Yeah.
Okay,
Well, if you bought, I bought the
If it
Far
was
Cry
like
5
actually
bundle.
remastered, it would be fine.
I bought the Far Cry 5 bundle, and I bought it on PC, and I got like everything in Far Cry 5 plus like that whatever it was, like the new something, New Horizon. Whenever like
Whatever
the
it's
nukes
called,
already
yeah.
went off.
Yeah,
And you get like that whole standalone game, even though you technically need Far Cry 5 for it.
New Dawn, you mean?
Yeah, that's what it was, New Dawn.
Was that like Blood
And
Dragon?
yeah,
Yeah,
basically
it's a standalone.
it's like Blood Dragon, except like the story continues instead of it being like, some random story.
Yeah.
But I ended up getting, because they always have crazy sales on Uplay, I ended up getting like the whole thing for like $15, maybe even less.
yeah, but I think the settings could be really cool. I think it's set in Venezuela, if I'm correct.
It's in the Caribbean,
Yeah.
I think. You're
But-
on like an island.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm excited for it. I think it's gonna be really good. Just if Gus
Far
is
Cry 5
taught me
didn't
anything.
hold my interest, but I'm more excited because if they have Gus on it, it's like guaranteed to be a lot better than 5 was.
It's a certified
honestly. Like I don't think you would sign on if the project wasn't like amazing. Like when you think of all the projects he signed on to in the past like 5 to 7 years, they've all been just incredible.
Plus, like at this point, Uplay kind of puts out, well, I guess more Ubisoft. Ubisoft puts out games that are not just AAA, but are like these insanely complex and multi-million-dollar properties that I don't know. I feel like you can't just say that they're gonna be bad at this point.
I mean, that's the thing, is I feel like Ubisoft recently hasn't done anything bad, but like they haven't done anything phenomenal recently.
I think they have. I think they're kind of people who are like, we have a formula and it's working.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
like
they're
I said,
like,
I don't
why-
think
why
I've
change
I don't
things
think there's
around?
ever been a bad Far Cry game. But
Before
it's just,
3, I
like,
haven't played the old
comparing-
ones, but
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, well yeah, I can't even speak to anything before that. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean it's hard to compare things to 3 just because 3 was what it was.
yeah, no,
Well,
I
definitely.
mean, I don't think it's not that I don't think they can. I just don't think they will top it.
No, they
Oh, yeah.
definitely
Yeah,
like
no.
they got the perfect villain, and then they kind of
Yeah.
got screwed with that.
Yeah, it's kind of like how Borderlands 2. There isn't going to be a better Borderlands than 2.
Yeah.
I think it's also because like that villain was like it's not that he himself was scary, but like the premise of him was scary. Where the rest of the villains haven't really been like scary. It feels real sometimes, or it feels like this is just like a villain, you know,
Or like
where
in Primal, there like just isn't a villain.
yeah,
I love Primal.
Primal is just like a hunting
I-
game. Far Cry.
I love Primal.
I haven't gotten to
Primal was
play
the
anything after
podcast
Primal,
game.
sadly. It's still sitting in my library. That's part of my 60 games. Well, now at this point, I think it's closer to 70 because I got a bunch of free games recently.
Yeah, Primal. I don't know. I liked Primal, but I didn't really like click with it till years later. Because when I played Far Cry 3, I wasn't big into the hunting and stuff.
Yeah, and that's all that game was just
Oh yeah,
the outpost, the collecting, the just leveling
Yeah.
up. And
it
all
was
that.
genuinely just the formula, nothing else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Far Cry 6 is my number pick. Colin, you're going second today, bud. What's your number 5?
Oh, I'm going second. I'm
Mhm.
so blessed. My second pick is Elden Ring from Software.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
I've always
that
been a big
confirmed this
fan of
year?
Dark Souls. Yeah, from what I remembered reading back in
Okay.
like January, or not January, December-ish.
Okay, I couldn't remember if it was this or next year.
Um, but yeah, I've been like super hype. I was following it a lot on Gamepedia, I think, or no, what's their version of Gamepedia? I forget like the RPG version of Gamepedia and stuff. But I've been following it a lot and I've been really excited for it because it's like it feels like it's going to be like a whole new step in like even more complex story and so much more fun like enemies and stuff than what Dark Souls has ever had.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm genuinely jealous I won't be able to play it, especially because George R. R. Martin is co-writing it too.
Was he?
Yeah.
Doesn't he have a book to finish?
He has a
Hopefully he
lot
can
of
end
books to
it.
finish.
Hopefully he
but-
can end it.
Well, he has people that'll
Hey,
force him to
writers,
finish it.
writers, whenever they're writing books, they don't have to ever finish their book.
Yeah. I think George has plans on how the series is gonna end, so like if he does die before they're all done, then people can like finish it for him. I think that's like
I kind of
that's
don't want him to finish it at this point. I just want everybody to be in anticipation of it for the rest of our lives and then wonder whatever happened.
I mean, I don't even care
Well,
anymore.
he already fumbled the bag. Like he can't fix the legacy that the show left. It's like, oh, the book's good. Yeah, I'm sure it is. The show already sucked. Like, who cares?
Yeah. If for once
last
you could, for
season
once you
sure
could say the
sucked.
show finished before the books, you know.
Yeah, honestly.
But yeah, no, Elden Ring does look really good. It's made, you said it's made by Obsidian, right?
No, from Software.
From Software.
It's from Software. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's the same people.
Obsidian's the other game that you're thinking of.
No,
Awoken.
If you were
or
listening-
Avowed. You're thinking of
Oh,
Avowed, Ron.
Avowed. Sorry, that's what I was thinking of. Was Avowed for this year, next year. Okay, that's right. Elden Ring does look good though. I had him confused. So yeah, that game does come out this year. Avowed is what I don't think comes out till 2022. But I am excited for that game. I won't really be able to play it probably unless I like subscribe to Game Pass or something for a month or two, and then do it that way. But yeah, good pick. Colin, did you ever finish Bloodborne? Question.
No, I recently just went to go start a playthrough like a month ago. Again, because I got pretty far, but then I loaded up the save and I couldn't remember where I was and I couldn't like find exactly what I was doing. So I just figured I'll start over again, figure it all out, and like enjoy the story a little bit more. And like playing it again, I'm really enjoying the story of Bloodborne a lot more.
Yeah, Zach's been saying he's had the itch to go back and play it. I
Yeah.
jumped back in, like 3 or 4 months ago and just tried it, and then I was like, oh god, like this is hell. I don't know if I'll be able to do it if I do, but
Dude,
we'll see.
I'm telling you, like I said on the PS Pony podcast, Ron, if they drop a 60 frame update, and I'll drop whatever I'm doing. Drop whatever I'm doing and go play it.
Facts. That'll definitely encourage me to do it, but
I mean, I think the thing is that game doesn't need 60 frames though. It's not something that like
Oh no, it doesn't need it, and like for sure,
Definitely
like
an enhancement.
it's more so just like I got a lot of things on my plate right now, and like that would be the thing that just pushes it up to the front. But
Yeah.
that's not saying like I'm refusing to play it before that happens. If it happens, it happens.
But yeah, Colin, solid pick for your number 5. Matt, what is your number 5?
Yo. Before I do my list, I just wanted to say that mine, unlike all the other ones, is unordered. because I don't really follow gaming as much as I used to. So like I didn't really have anything I felt super strongly about. So these are just stuff that I am interested in, but it's unordered as far as like my number one pick doesn't mean I'm necessarily more excited for it than my number 5 pick for the folks at home.
Nice
So this
preface.
is top 5, Matt. This is just 5.
This is
Well, yeah,
5. List
my
of
number
5.
5 is Deathloop that I actually like found
Ooh.
while researching for this episode because I didn't know what 5 games I was going to pick. And it is a new, I believe it's Bethesda is coming out with it. I don't know how
Yeah.
y'all feel. In my heart, Bethesda can do no wrong. I'll buy it.
Well-
They made Skyrim. I'll buy anything they
dot,
put
dot.
out as long as it's not Fallout. But I mean, the concept is really cool. I mean, it's obviously almost a direct ripoff of Looper, and as far as like the concept goes, like it looks like
I mean,
the
on top of
guy
that, it's also
trapped in a time loop and he's being like hunted on this island. And it has like the Dishonored mechanics.
Yeah, I was
which
gonna say, it's
personally haven't
basically
played
Dishonored.
but it looks really cool as far as like the movement options and the things that you're able to do from the gameplay. And like the whole aesthetic of the game also looks really fun. Like the art style is pretty sweet. It's very reminiscent of Dishonored, like as far as the art style and stuff, but I think it works.
Yeah.
It looks like the gameplay is very, very similar to Dishonored as well. It's kind of like I wouldn't be
Well, it's the same
surprised if
people who made it, like the same
Oh,
team
yeah.
who made Dishonored made this one.
I wouldn't be
made
surprised if they
this
try to put it
game.
in like the same universe or something.
Yeah, Matt, I'm with you. I'm very excited about Deathloop. Yeah, it's just like it's kind of like a Hitman, Groundhog Day kind of crossover type thing. So I'm really interested to see the how the story unfolds and like what's going on and all that. So
Yeah, I forgot to add my famous preface at this point. My preface with mine was I'm only doing games that are actually have a release date this year, not that have been like announced but TB8 or TBA for the release
No,
date.
yeah, that's fair.
So technically only till
I'll
June,
get to that
I
later.
guess.
Yeah, I'll preface mine as well. I'm going off of like the current climate of games coming out this year, like of what people said, hey, it's coming out this year, be excited. So that's kind of like where I'm.
Mine has some allegedly coming out this year title.
Yeah,
that's what I did for
stuff,
my.
there are things that I definitely are going to buy when they come out.
yeah, I got a
Like
few
Deathloop, I might pick up. I also might not. My other 4, I will be picking up when/if they drop.
Got you.
Zach, what is your number 5?
My number 5 is Hollow Knight Silk Song. One of these allegedly games that is supposed to come out, but who knows if it will. Me and Ron recently just went through and we replayed Hollow Knight. It is a fantastic game, beautiful art, great story if you can decipher it and figure it out or watch an hour-long video. It's just awesome gameplay. I love just it. It's almost like a it's similar to like a 2D Dark Souls-esque type game. In the same way that like you die, you lose everything you have. The only catch is you have a redemption. I don't know if you do in like Dark Souls or Bloodborne, if you have like a way to redeem.
You do. You have to kill what
Okay.
killed you.
Oh, okay.
In
Yeah.
Bloodborne,
So yeah, kind of the same
Dark
concept
Souls
in
has
that.
like a you go into your soul form.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So it's so same concept with that. You can level yourself up depending on how, not level yourself up, like give yourself little upgrades depending on how you play or everything like that. And then it has a pretty in-depth like boss system and like different bosses you can fight. They're all very different. Silk Song is the sequel or prequel, Ron?
It's a sequel.
It is a sequel.
Actually, I'm actually leaning. No, I believe
I thought it was a prequel.
I believe it's sequel. I have no idea.
I
think
think
it might be
another
prequel.
installment.
It might be prequel. Yeah.
But it focuses on another character in the game Hollow Knight, named Hornet. I'm very excited about it. I was blown away by Hollow Knight. It is now one of my favorite games I've played, and I'm sure this is going to be in the same boat. So I'm excited to see what Team Cherry has to offer.
That's awesome that you put Silk Song at your number 5, Zach, because my number 4 is Hollow Knight Silk Song. I put in parentheses if it releases in 2021. That is still TBD. I know they pretty much went in the dark all of 2020 when it comes to just like, you know, giving like release date info. And the pandemic, it is a small team, so we're not sure like how much that could have affected development. They did hit us with the famous quote that CDPR did once say, in that it will release when it's ready. And unfortunately, I lost faith in one
Things
company.
that didn't age well.
Yeah, things that didn't age well.
Yeah, they kind of destroyed that saying at this point.
They did, but I trust Team Cherry more than CDPR.
You know, honestly, all they had to do was say it's still in beta, and people would have been like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, here's early access.
Yeah, I mean, like they could have easily done that.
But anyway, I don't know. As Zach said, I started playing the game more when it was free with PlayStation Plus. Just because it kind of got me interested in going back into it. I owned it on the Switch. Absolutely loved the game. At the time, I was trash. I went back to the save to see how far I got, and it makes sense why I didn't finish it because I was just not making like any progress.
I honestly couldn't imagine playing that game on a Switch wrong.
Well, here's dude, it's gonna be so hard for me not to buy it on the Switch when it drops. I might do it, and then I might just give Team Cherry more money, and then when it releases on the 5, I'll just give them more money and buy it again.
Yeah.
But I am extremely excited for Silk Song. Hollow Knight, the first game, was fantastic. I love like the community support behind it and how like passionate Team Cherry is with the game. Because Silk Song was just supposed to be an expansion, but then it got too big, in their words, and then they just made it into a second game. It's honestly the game where I really wish I was a Kickstarter supporter on. Not only so I get Silk Song for free, but just so I can like be a part of actually, you know, like helping make that game happen. That is pretty cool though. Even if you donate $1, you get a Silk Song for free, which is pretty cool if you were an OG supporter. But yeah, I don't know. It's gonna. I believe it's gonna only launch on the Switch and PC at first because they do have the deal with Nintendo. So I'll either buy it on one or the other. And then it'll come out on the rest of the consoles next. So, but yeah, I'm excited for it. So it's my number 4 of TBD. We'll see. They didn't talk about a Nintendo Direct 2 days ago, even though Nintendo Direct's only for the first half of 21. So hopefully it's in the next.
It was a very small Nintendo Direct.
Yeah. So
people were very disappointed because of how small it was.
Yeah, there was a couple big releases, but a lot of people were just expecting Breath of the Wild 2 or whatever they would call it, and that's what didn't help.
And like the Smash character they revealed is super boring.
Who is it again?
I don't even know.
No.
It's like anime sword character number 37.
Gotcha.
Like it doesn't give anyone a reason to like get excited.
Yeah. But yeah, Silk Song has been number 4. Colin, what is yours?
My number 4 is Back 4 Blood.
Ooh, Left 4 Dead.
Because Back 4 Blood is supposed to come out June?
I think so. It's supposed to come out soon.
Yeah. So I'm really hype about that. I mean the first time we saw it was at the Game Awards. I'm just really excited for it just because me and my cousin played Left 4 Dead 2 like mad. Like I'd go over his house for the weekend and we would play through Left 4 Dead 1 and 2 within the whole weekend, and we do it on, you know, whatever the hard difficulty is, and like it was fun. And I really enjoyed those games, and we would do like different challenges, like you can only use melee on certain levels or whatever, and it made the game a lot of fun. Granted, we didn't get to play it on PC, obviously. It was back in the day with Xbox 360, but I don't know. I was very excited to see a new Left 4 Dead, basically.
Yeah, I didn't get into Left 4 Dead like too much. Like I had it on my PC, but I watched streamers, or not even streamers at the time, just YouTubers at the time, were playing the game, like Vanoss and them, whenever they would.
Days.
Yeah. They're good games. I mean, Steam isn't known for making games that have a 3 in it. they did Half-Life Alyx. Now it's left. What is it called? What is this one called?
Back for Blood.
Back for Blood.
But isn't it made by somebody new? No, I thought somebody bought the license or something.
I don't know. I thought Turtle Rock was still making it, or whoever they're called, or Steam or whatever. I don't know. Matt, you know what this means though? Is that if we got Half-Life and we got Left 4 Dead, we might get a Portal soon.
Do it.
Let's hope. I doubt it. I really doubt it will.
Well, it'll be called tunneling.
I don't even care. Give me tunnel
Quantum
vision.
tunneling.
God, Portal 2, man. I fucking love Portal 2.
I know, Matt. We need that type of game back in our life,
I
man.
played Portal 1 after Portal 2, and
Yeah, same.
Portal 1 is like 2 hours long.
Yeah, I think I accidentally speedran the game.
Like Portal 1 is like secretly just a demo for Portal 2. But Portal 2 is just incredible.
It's a phenomenal game. I love Portal 2.
I mean, Portal 1 came out like in the early 2000s, so
oh yeah,
it was definitely like it was probably great for its time, but playing it again, playing it for the first time years after it had come out, it felt very dated.
Portal 1 popped off like big time, and that's why they expanded so much on 2, because you pretty much had 2 story modes.
Portal, Team Fortress, and then
maybe we'll get Team Fortress before.
Oh, Half-Life, obviously.
Yeah,
Half-Life, Fortress, and Portal like made Valve what they are.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'm excited. Maybe we'll get a Portal, or Portal 3 or whatever. Yeah, good pick, Colin. Matt, what is your number 4?
My number 4 is the alleged Pokemon games that are coming out this year. I say alleged. Yeah. There has been a semi-credible leak that we are getting Diamond and Pearl remakes this year for the Switch.
Well, it came from the credible leakers.
Yeah, it was the credible. Yeah. It was the credible leakers. Nothing has been announced officially from Nintendo, but we can very strongly assume that they are coming out this year, more than likely in the fall.
Plus, you got new Pokemon Snap.
Yeah, new Pokemon Snap as well. I'm pretty excited for that. If that's like at a reasonable price point, I'll pick it up, because
it'll probably be like 50 or 60 TBs.
It'll probably just be like my Stardew Valley, where like if I just get pissed off, I load it up and just have some good quality fun taking pictures of Pokemans.
Yeah. No, Matt.
But
yeah.
I'm all about some Diamond and Pearl. They're very fun base games to play, and upresing them to the Switch is going to be incredible. We've already seen what the Switch hardware can do with the Pokemon IP, with Sword and Shield, which have been like a top 3 entry in the franchise, at least for me.
Well, I think the nice thing is it's not just going to be a remastered. It's going to be what they did with all the others, and they're going to make it look like Sword and Shield, you know?
Yeah, and like we can also like I say we now have the technology as if it's new, but adding regions onto Sword and Shield means that we could potentially get more regions onto Diamond and Pearl later in the future that they can just sell us later, which is pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Maybe, and getting new forms of like, maybe we'll get like a new Lucario form, since everyone loves Lucario, and like a bunch of Gen 4 classics can get new forms. Obviously, they probably do something cool with the starters. Like
Diamond and Pearl was before the split, right?
Before what split?
You mean like before Soul Silver and Heart Gold?
Well, no, before they split it to be like the 2 different timelines.
I'm not too
sure. Right,
because
weren't the 2 different timelines after Black and White?
You're
I
talking
have no
about
idea. Yeah.
Okay. Well, they'll probably do Diamond and Pearl in the Mega universe instead of the non-Mega universe. Or they call them Megas, right?
Yes.
Mega evolutions. Yeah,
Mega evolutions. No, Sword and Shield honestly really, really got me back into Pokemon.
Sword and Shield was so good.
I fell off.
The new mechanics are phenomenal.
I fell off because I don't know, like like let's go Pikachu and Eevee was like such like a meh thing. I was like, whatever. I bought it. I sold it back.
Let's go Pikachu and Eevee.
I didn't like it. It was just boring. I didn't find it like challenging. I got like halfway through and I was like, what am I doing? Sun and Moon I didn't like.
Well, the age of Pokemon games being challenging is long gone.
Yeah. Right, but like you know what I mean though. It was just
it's like a baby's first like RPG.
Yeah.
Pokemon.
I mean, realistically, the most challenging one was the first one because there was almost no
nothing
story.
worked.
Yeah.
There was literally almost no story in the first one, so there was nothing to follow.
Yeah, Diamond was the first Pokemon game I ever had, so I'm really hoping for the remake. I'd love to snag whatever they add on to the word Diamond, Pure Diamond or whatever they would call it, but I really want it.
Why?
I mean, they might make it
remains
divine
the
because
only
they were supposed
Pokemon
to
game
like
I've
that was kind of
beaten.
the point of it was to make it like the best Pokemon game is in their words.
Soul Silver was the best in my IMO, but
I mean, Heart Gold, if we're really talking
It's
about
not
it.
no Emerald. Like, come on.
we'll have to do a top 5 Pokemon games or top 5 Pokemon. Let us know in the
Well,
comments if you
mine's Platinum. Just
Okay.
gonna spoil that right now.
Cool.
Well,
No doubt,
all right,
no
no,
doubt,
I
no
guess
doubt.
we're not gonna.
I guess
Because
we're not
that'll
doing
come
it.
up a million times.
Hope you guys didn't want it.
You guys hated that idea.
Matt, anything else to say about the potential Pokemon game coming out?
I hope we get it.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Zach, what is your number
sir.
4?
My number 4 is Horizon Zero Dawn, the new one. I forget what it's called. The
Forbidden West.
Forbidden West, yeah. I really liked
Yeah.
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Dusk.
What's up?
Is it called Horizon Zero Dusk?
No, sadly. But yeah, I really loved Horizon. I know it like resonates like deeply for a lot of people out there in the gaming community. Sadly, it's me falling victim to like I remember really loving it. I remember really enjoying it and being blown away by it, but also I couldn't tell you what it was about, the story. I know that a lot of stuff happened, and I know it was very complex, and you discovered some mysteries and unveiled this whole like thing on like human society, and it was great. It was fun, and there was a little bit of a betrayal. And then it teed up another game. But I just can't really remember exactly what happened, but I remember really enjoying it and really loving it. So I am excited to go back to it and see what Gorilla has in store for us.
Well, Zach, if we're just gonna keep going on this little path that we're doing right now, my number 3 is Horizon Forbidden West.
Look at that.
I am also really excited for the game. I originally did not like Horizon Zero Dawn when I first played it, but then I replayed it more because I wanted to give it another like a fair shake when I wasn't really like as hectically busy with school and everything. I gave it a fair shake. I really did enjoy it. I never did play the DLCs though. I've been meaning to. Just kind of forgot about it.
I started playing the Frozen Wet or the Frozen Wilds or whatever, and it was just one of those situations where like it doesn't recoach you how to play the game. It doesn't go through like the tutorial again. It just throws you right back in, and I had no idea what was going on. I had all my like gadgets and stuff that I had. I didn't remember how it all synergized together or what I was doing. So that's mainly why I ended up falling out.
I think what I just liked the most was that every like creature you had to fight, every robot you had to fight had a different way of going about it.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like the standard game where the head is the crit or the heart is the crit. It's now like, hey, you need to use like these arrows combined with these materials to weaken them there, and then you can properly take it down. It's like it had a nice like tactical feel to it, which I feel that Guerrilla, with their experience with Killzone, is a huge shift in that type of game making. So I'm really excited to see what that game looks like on the 5, and I'm really excited to play it and see what just see what can happen. I'm expecting good things. I'm not overhyping myself. I think Cyberpunk genuinely has made me not get as hyped for games dropping as much anymore. It finally did it. Finally something did it for me, but yeah, I'm excited for it. I believe it's gonna release second half of 21. If it hasn't had a release date by now, it's not going to be probably till like August or September or something. But yeah, I'm excited for it. And that's my number 3.
Cool.
Colin, what is yours?
Boy, my number 3 is Deathloop. Mainly because I really enjoyed the Dishonored series. and it just looks like a Dishonored clone in a way, but it's gonna have so many more mechanics on top of it. So I'm excited because like I think there's something to building a stealth game instead of games that have stealth, and that's kind of what this seems like because it's like it's still gonna be part of like that stealth genre, I guess, if that's even a genre. But
It is, I would
Stealth is
say.
definitely a genre.
Yeah, like if
Yeah.
Hitman stealth or I would-
Hitman stealth. There's a lot of other.
I mean, I
just
guess it would be
games that add on
strategy. I guess it wouldn't really be stealth. It would be strategy, right?
it could be both
So,
though.
I mean, yeah.
Um,
I mean, there's
I would
strategy
call
in
it, I would call
everything.
it strategy.
Yeah.
but
Granted, we haven't
I
played
like
it yet, so
I like even though it's like, I mean, for the most part, it's a linear play experience, but because of the sandboxiness of it, you can do every mission in. I mean, I've watched countless different ways to do, and it's not just, oh, I'm gonna kill him here or I'm gonna kill him here. It's like I'm gonna use this random bucket and force push it straight into his face and kill him or something. Like that's how sandboxy this is for like in the case of Dishonored. So
yeah.
I think there's a lot to happen with it, and there's a lot of good stuff coming with all the new engines and all the new mechanics that have been worked out with games and things that we've seen for the last few years. I think they're just gonna hit the ball. Well, hit the road running. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see how they do it. I don't know. I just like the premise of it. Like every time you do it, supposedly it's just gonna be different. You are being hunted while you are doing these like objectives and everything that you need to do within the game. I think it's gonna be a really cool experience. So I'm really excited for it. Matt, what is your number 3 pick?
Yo, my number 3 is Far Cry 6.
Hey, let's go.
For all the reasons we talked about before. But, I mean, my love for the Far Cry series is like mostly stemmed off Far Cry 3. Like the
I
other
think we
games
can
were
all
good,
say that for us.
like
Yeah.
Far Cry 3 is just such a banger. Honestly, probably just makes it out of my top 5 games of all time. If we're talking like just previous gen games, it's definitely on there. And I'm really excited just mostly because like I feel like Far Cry 5 is a little bland. I didn't finish it. It just didn't hold my attention for whatever reason. And I really think that Gus signing on to the project means that it's just gonna be elevated that much higher because of the presence he brings to whatever he's working
Yeah.
on. Like we've seen, like obviously, like Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, Mandalorian, The Boys. Like these are all just amazing pieces of television that he's a part of, and he like always carries a scene when
That's
he's in a
right,
room.
he is
And
in the boys.
in a game series like Far Cry, where the villain is the most important part of your game, I think it's gonna really elevate it to like potentially legend status.
Yeah.
It slipped my mind that he was in the boys. That's right.
He takes over after
After season 1.
Homelander
So
offs that chick.
Yeah. Yeah, every time like he's introduced into a show like unexpectedly, I'm in. I'm in.
He's the one dude who tells Homelander off, and he doesn't do nothing. That's how
Yeah.
you know. That's how you know he's built different.
Exactly. But yeah, I love that, man. Yeah, I assume you've watched the trailer then of the Far Cry 6
Yeah.
trailer. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, didn't that drop like last year though?
It did. Yeah, it was like December or November or something. But I love that trailer. That's honestly just what hooked me
It's
into Far
awesome.
Cry. Yeah, fantastic. But yeah, Matt, Far Cry 6 is a solid pick. Zach, what is your number 3 pick, big guy?
My number 3 is Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart.
Ooh.
I was pleasantly surprised with the remake of the first Ratchet and Clank, the game about the movie about the game. Yeah, it's just it's a lot of fun platforming. The implementation of the cool weapons and gadgets are always really cool to see. Everything that they have going on with like the way of like teleporting from like world to world and like um like mid-level, like so you have to like kind of step through time into like an alternate universe to get through certain aspects of it and everything. It seems really cool. They introduced a new character which looks fun. But yeah, Insomniac, has a pretty good track history as of late with Spider-Man and the remake of Ratchet. So, uh, super super excited to see what's going on with Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart.
Colin, I have a question for you,
What is your
especially.
question?
Have you looked into this new Ratchet and Clank game?
I have.
Okay.
It looks pretty good. I was a big fan of it as a kid. I didn't really play the new one. It wasn't speaking to me as much. I think the movie kind of gave me a sour taste in my mouth. So
Yeah.
That's fair. But the reason I bring it up is because Zach and I were talking on the PS Ponies podcast. If you don't know what that is, you should go listen to it. It's on just about every streaming platform that the Top 5 podcast is on. And with the way that they use portals in this game, I was telling Zach that I don't think after this game they're just gonna get rid of that mechanic that they built into their engine for the game. So my theory is that maybe when they make another Miles Morales game, they might make it a Spider-Verse game and kind of keep using that like kind of fast travel teleporter ability to hop in and out of different worlds, different Spider-Verses. Now, what is your take on it?
um I mean, maybe. Um I'm trying I think it would be complicated because it probably doesn't translate well. Because I don't know if it's so much built into the engine. It's probably just more a mechanic that's built into every character or, some kind of like input. Um, because I don't want to say every character because like obviously you're just playing Ratchet and Clank, but
Right.
um, I don't know. I don't know.
I think
I
it'd be
think it
really
would be.
cool.
I
I'm just
think
looking for a
something that
reason to
would be
play
weird would
Speed
be
Forky.
to randomly rip holes in the universe and jump into different Spider Verses. Considering it was like I know the movie kind of set that up as like a thing to do, but that's not really how it went. But I guess they have their own, freedoms with the writing and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think it'd be just a really cool like I don't know. I feel like the whole after the Spider-Verse movie, I could definitely see more of like a hey, let's do this. This would be really cool and people would buy it because Spider-Verse, probably type of thing behind it too. I think if it's done well, it can go over like very good in the community.
I can see it, and I didn't say this on the podcast, Ron, because I just thought of this, but I can see it being more of like you can whenever you're like in the open world, you have to go to a location or like fast travel just like you would anywhere else, and then that's how you get into another world. But whenever you enter like specific buildings to do missions, that's where you see like the more of the jump in and out of various things. Because I feel like it'd be
Probably.
hard to do it like just instantly in all of New York City.
I feel like something easy would be, instead of making a Spider-Man game, make a Sideways game because it's exactly what it would be. Sideways was DC's attempt at trying to get a Spider-Man character. And what he was able to do was create portals to different universes or different parts of his universe and stuff. And I mean, like, it would be probably stupid to do it since they're already working with the Spider-Man stuff. And Sideways was canceled after so many comics, but that's kind of what it sounds like is like a Sideways game.
Yeah. I mean, regardless, I don't know. I don't know if it's something they will do because they definitely have their own like storyline that they're currently going on with Spider-Man and everything. So I mean, it could happen, but it just like it's a nice little like fan theory I have going on in my head. I think it'd be really cool. But yeah, I'm excited for Ratchet and Clank as well, Zach. It's a solid pick. To move on from your number 3, Zach, we're now back at my number 2, which is it's a game that doesn't have a release date yet, even though it was speculated March, but we're halfway there. It's called Kena: A Bridge of Spirits. And if you don't know what this game is, it's basically Pixar the movie, or sorry, Pixar the video game, and I am so excited for it. I forget what the creators of this game like made like a short film which basically just looks like Pixar level quality. I think it was like a Zelda thing or something before, and they just got a lot of money from it, and then decided to start making a game, which is Kena Bridge of Spirits. It seems like it's gonna be like a platforming style game, but every character in it just looks like it's from a Pixar movie, and that's just tugging at the childhood heartstrings a bit. And I'm super excited for the game. Doesn't have a release date yet. I have no idea what it's about. It seems like it's gonna have like some really cool bosses because it looks like I think the premise of it is that Kina is just like the lone survivor of her village. It's just like as a little girl. And then just kind of her just exploring and everything and just trying to find out like what happened, like why did everyone go missing. But I think it's gonna be a really beautiful game, and I'm extremely excited for it. If it comes out this year and it does not win Best Art Style in the Game Awards, I'm burning the house down. So we'll see. Whoever's house I'm at, then you're
I
gonna
think
have
Last of Us 2 is still gonna sweep.
probably. If they drop another DLC, I'm sure it will. But yeah, no, I'm extremely excited for Kena. No release date yet. Not sure like how long the game's gonna be or anything. It could honestly be an hour long, and I'll still spend the money. I don't care. But yeah, that's my number 2 of games I'm looking forward to. If you haven't watched the trailer, highly, highly recommend it. Colin, what is your number 2?
My number 2 is Hitman 3. I've bought every single Hitman until this one. Blood Money is my absolute favorite. I played that way too much.
But Colin, these are unreleased games. That came out in January.
Well, it was 2021.
I guess that's fair.
I assumed. So I haven't bought Hitman 3 yet because I've been busy.
So it's still unreleased for you.
And yeah, it's still unreleased for me.
All right, we'll have a little cheat.
And Hitman 3, I have been very excited for. I didn't really get to play Hitman 2 yet. I bought Hitman 2, but it's still sitting there because college kind of took over.
As it does.
Yeah. But I've bought every single game and played every Hitman. I think I've bought all the old Hitmans at least like 3 times for each console that they came out on and stuff, because I bought them for PS2, and then I bought them on 360, the ones that were on 360, and then I bought all of them on PC again so I could play them again. Because they were like $10 or something as a bundle. Hitman 1 was a blast. Like the new Hitman 1, I should say. And then Hitman 2 is basically just Hitman 1. So, I mean, it's just fantastic. So, I'm excited for Hitman 3.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'll end up getting it, but I am interested in the game. It's definitely like on a separate list I made of just games in 2021 that I'm interested in. I don't think I'll end up getting it because I don't know. I feel like me playing the game, I'll quickly realize that it's just I'm not like probably the audience for it. As much as there's the potential of me enjoying it, I'm not sure if it'll happen though. You know?
I think it's one of those things where like I don't know. I guess I mean it's still one of those sandboxy games, but in a way it's you kind of have to go into it, and I guess if you want to experience the story of it at first, like sure, like, go through it, do it serious. But after you go through and you do it serious, it turns into what's the craziest way I can kill this guy? Or in the case of one of the Hitman in Blood Money, there's the Mardi Gras one where me and my cousin spent probably 3 weeks, me and my cousin Dylan. We spent probably like 3 weeks trying to figure out how to kill everybody in the parade before we killed um the target. Even though you're not supposed to kill everybody in the parade, it's like technically bad. We would just go back and play it and like see if we can kill innocents before the target catches on or something. And it was like it's one of those things where you just kind of need to sit down and go, what would be something silly and stupid and fun to like maybe kill somebody with a cucumber that's been poisoned, or um you know drop a piano on somebody or whatever it might be. Like there's so many crazy ways to kill people in those games, especially the new ones. Like
They definitely get more
it's
creative as time goes on.
yeah, it's kind of like what I was saying with the Dishonored was like I watch people play some of like Hitman 2 stuff and Hitman 1 stuff, and the things that people come up with like on how to kill these people is insane, because it's like, I'm gonna throw a piece of paper at them that has a bomb on it, or like a piece of paper is gonna drop from the ceiling. I mean, like, that's not exactly what it is, but it's so obtuse and random that it makes it fun after you go through another time.
Yeah, I can definitely agree. Did you say you played Hitman 2?
No, it's sitting there.
Okay.
I even got the steelbook case for it from GameStop,
Was
because I went in and I said, "Can I
Hitman
get a steelbook?"
was Hitman 2 the episodic game, where just like released bit by bit,
Well,
or is that the
Hitman 1
first
and
one?
Hitman 2 was, I mean, I assume Hitman 2 was the same because Hitman 1 was the same.
Okay, I couldn't remember which one was which, or if they both did it. I know
Because
that
I
I
think
believe this one released like fully fledged. Like, here you
it's
go.
been a
Here's the game.
while, but I think it was like they released like a bunch of episodes. It's kind of like Telltale in a way. Like, they released like a huge chunk of the story at a time,
Yeah.
or technically like the main game was the first bunch of chapters, and then afterwards was like continuing it. Or, I mean, it I don't I like it. I like that kind of a way to play, but I also don't necessarily like it, because it's kind of one of those things where it's like, why not just release the full game? But I also understand that games like that require a lot more funding. So I'm okay
R.I.P.
with
to
it, I guess.
Telltale though. R.I.P.
Yeah, I mean, their games were alright sometimes. Like,
We'll never get another Wolf Among Us game. They just, I guess I didn't even know this, but apparently Tales from the Borderlands was just not on the stores anymore, and they just got put back on because I guess there was a
Yeah,
bunch of
they
problems that
stopped
they were
selling
having.
them.
Yeah, it just
Yeah,
stopped
they
selling.
stopped selling the Telltale games for a while.
Which, yeah, I know.
well,
Well,
they
I
were.
think it was just Tales from the Borderlands was the one that like, I think at least that was the highest profile one of all of
I
them.
don't know.
Tales
sure
is
it was.
I just know that
fantastic.
Epic Games like
Yeah.
sent me a bunch of notifications like, "Hey, Tales of the Borderlands is here. Tales of the Borderlands is here. Hey, just so you know, in case you didn't know, Tales of the Borderlands is here." And I was like, "I get it. I already played it. I'm good."
I did really love that game. That was a very good game.
No, that was a good game.
Yeah.
I'm actually playing with Alex because she likes those games now, so I'm
Choice
playing
games,
Tales of the
yeah.
Borderlands with her.
It was nice playing Telltale games because whenever, if you didn't do it episode by episode, and you just did like the full game, then like there's your like your fully fledged game. But if you were like me who did some of them like episode by episode, you just forget about some of the actions you made by the time you're
Yeah.
on like the fifth one, and you're like, oh, damn, I can't believe I screwed myself 8 months ago.
The thing I liked about Tales of the Borderlands is I sat down one day at like, 9 in the morning, and by 10 o'clock at night I finished the entire thing, and it was like this long, like, 11, 12-hour movie.
Yeah. It
Yeah,
for
they're
sure can be.
fantastic. And shout out to The Walking Dead Telltale, the first one. Second one was good too,
Yeah.
but the first one, fantastic.
First one was awesome.
Yeah, I think I won a Game of the Year actually. I think that was one of the first of a Game of the Year awards.
Indie Game of the Year or something like that. Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, I might have to Google it.
It won a Game of the Year award.
It definitely
a Game of
did.
the Year award for sure.
But yeah, Colin, that's your number 2 pick, Hitman 3.
No,
Unreleased
actually
Game.
it's a different one.
Oh yeah, really? Tell us more. Matt, tell us your number 2.
Yo. My number 2 is another allegedly coming out.
Allegedly.
This is probably the loosest one that's going to drop this year because there's really no credible evidence that it will drop. But it is Diablo 4.
That's in my honorable mentions.
There are
Spoilers.
rumors going around that Blizzard's going to drop something for Diablo this year.
Well,
I played Diablo 3 briefly and was very impressed. So I'm very excited to try to get in on the ground floor of this new Diablo and see if it's as fun and as like up to the standards of Blizzard that I know it probably will be. I've never been disappointed with the Blizzard game, and I probably never will because it's Blizzard.
with my I recently saw a post about some leaks, and as much as I still want Diablo 4 to be a thing, it seems like the leaks are Diablo 2 remastered, and I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't know. I've read
And I
somewhere
don't
that
know if
Diablo
that's
4
going to
might be
be
dropping.
I don't know if they're going to do like Diablo 2 remastered plus Diablo 4 kind of a thing, like they're going to do remastered like in the summer and then Diablo 4 in the fall.
I guess
but
that would make
I'm
sense
very
with their
excited
like
for it.
recent like the mastered WoW games coming out. I guess that
Yeah,
would make sense to like do that, but I don't know. If Diablo 4 comes out, I'm buying. I I played Diablo, like I said, I played Diablo 3 briefly, and when I say briefly, I mean like probably like a combined 12 hours, and was very impressed. I tend to like those style of games, but I feel like without the sort of like I got in after sort of the community like exploded for Diablo, so I wasn't really a part of that community. And I think being part of it is almost as important as like just enjoying the game by itself. So I'm
No,
what
very
for
I
excited
sure.
to try
understand,
to
because
get in on the ground floor of this new
I
Diablo
wasn't
if
huge into the
Flashpoint
community
drops.
myself, and from what I understand is that Diablo 3 wasn't fantastic until the, like, whatever, first DLC or second DLC came out, like the Reaper of Souls edition, basically.
I think that's the one I played. But I will be patiently anticipating any Diablo news.
I know we briefly played was Diablo 3
Yeah.
on the PS4, like early into
Yes,
the
sir.
PS4 life
I mean, the
cycle.
game Diablo 3 is probably close to 10 years old.
Yeah.
The game's
Me-
old.
Yeah, I enjoyed it a little bit. I'm just not like that much of like a dungeon crawler like type of gamer, you know.
I think you can be.
Probably can be.
Yeah, I think
Like
I
literally
mean,
you
everyone
you
can
play
be.
Destiny and like that's what Diablo is, but not in first person.
yeah.
I did enjoy Minecraft
If
Dungeons.
you want to constantly do Destiny raids and strikes, you'll have no issue grinding Diablo. Honest to Christ.
That
I
is
mean, I
fair.
feel like the first person aspect changes it a lot.
Yeah, but it's the
Like,
same principle. You're really just
I mean,
playing
yeah,
the game
but
for
like
fun.
for me, like I vibe with Destiny a lot more than I did like Minecraft Dungeons, purely because it
Yeah,
is
but
the first.
Minecraft Dungeons also isn't Diablo.
I mean, no, it's similar, in the same vein.
I mean, I guess sure.
Minecraft Dungeons is baby's first Diablo.
I mean, yeah.
Which isn't Diablo.
Yeah, but honest, you said it's allegedly coming out this year. That we're seeing for leaks for BlizzCon.
Yeah, they were
There's
leaks.
rumors.
Okay, BlizzCon's in May, right, or is it March?
No, it's literally today.
What? Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know
It's
that.
usually
Like
it's usually in the fall.
the
a couple
opener's
weeks after
happening today.
I
Oh,
don't know
okay.
anything about it.
Then maybe we'll hear about it soon. Then who knows? Yeah, that's exciting. Then Matt, look at
Tune
you.
into the PS Ponies podcast for all things Diablo related.
Absolutely, we're a high key Diablo podcast. I mean, if it gets a release date, Matt, we'll give you a little shout out. We'll talk about it. But yeah, solid pick for number 2, Matt. Zach, what is your number 2 pick?
My number 2 is Deathloop. I'm really excited for the game. I have everything we've seen from it so far. Has interested me enough to the point that I no longer want to see anything until I play it. I'm a big fan of the like Groundhog Day, like reset, like if you die you reset type of like game and like mechanic. Um, I think it's really cool how, unlike a lot of games like that, usually like if everyone except for your character forgets what happened, but like in this scenario, the people who are killing you and are trying to kill you, and who you're trying to kill as well to advance through the game, they remember killing you. So the longer you stay on them, that like alters like the way they talk to you and certain interactions that can happen. So yeah, we've kind of already talked about it, but yeah, I'm just really excited for Deathloop. See where that's gonna go, what happens.
Yeah, I'm excited for it as well, but we'll talk about it. To not keep on tradition though, Zach, your number 2 is not my number 1, sadly. Because
I know what your number 1 is.
now we are at the part of the show where we talk about our number 1 pick, and Ron, a la me, is kicking it off this week with my number 1 pick, which is a game that is said to be coming out in 2021, but I don't believe it at all. It is God of War Ragnarok. I don't know. I can't see this game coming out any time before December. If it does,
It's gonna be a stretch. I'm gonna be very shocked if it does.
Yeah, I'll be surprised. I want them. I if they delay it, I'm fine. Because one, there's
Yeah.
enough games already this year to play that will drain my bank account if I let it. And two, I'll happily wait for perfection. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'll wait. What? It came out in 2018. Like, I don't know. That's the thing that gets me a little worried. Is that that's 3.5 years. I mean, 3.5 years is 3.5 years, but it just gets me worried that it could be a little rushed. But I trust them.
Yeah.
They brought it back from pretty much the dead. I mean, it was a very difficult game to have come out with it as it was, as we watched in the little documentary. So I can't imagine that they would want to rush it and soil it if it is going to be. So I don't know. I think that was just more of a name drop when they were showing off the PlayStation 5 and saying, hey, 2021, here's what you got.
Yeah.
But, oh, it's delayed. Who knows? Who? But yeah, God of War 2018 is my number 2 overall game of all time. So I'm extremely excited for Ragnarok and seeing how they continue the story of it. If it releases in December this year, I mean, I'll buy it. There's no chance I don't, but I will not be disappointed if there is a delay in it. So I'll only be disappointed if they hit us with like a release date and then push it back. Like, I'll be like, all right. You know what I mean? We would have seen it coming, kind of like Hogwarts Legacy. Yeah. God of War Ragnarok is my number 1 pick. Colin, what is your number 1 anticipated 2021 unreleased game?
So mine is something that's one of those cycle games that comes out every single year. So even though it hasn't had a solid date, we know it's coming out. It's D2 The Witch Queen. Destiny 2.
Is that what they're calling as the Witch Queen, or is that just like the rumor?
Yeah,
name?
no, it's the Witch Queen.
Gotcha.
They put it on their
like their roadmap.
Yeah, thank you, the roadmap. Gotcha. So I'm just super excited because the Hive are like my absolute favorite, and then the Cabal are the second, and we're right now the season with Keitel is really really cool. But I'm really excited for the Witch Queen because they're doing all kinds of really cool stuff to set up for it. So,
I mean, I've been seeing you play the game a lot more recently too.
It's something I don't really want to get into because just to explain like why I'm so excited for it would take so long. But it's definitely, yeah. I mean, it's just like you really got to be somebody who's like, I mean, I guess you don't really have to be, but for me, it's like a whole different level because I'm super into the lore. And I'm really excited to see how the Last Wish, like the actual Last Wish, not the raid, but the actual Last Wish, like has impacted us and like what the Witch Queen or Savathun really has in store for us.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I haven't got Zach and I still need to beat the one DLC that
the one.
Well, you just got
Beyond Light. Is that what it is? No, it's not.
No, I don't think you got Beyond Light.
No,
you guys got Shadowkeep. Yeah.
Yeah, we still need to beat that. We've been busy playing games that have been released, and we've played multiple times.
Shadowkeep was really cool because Shadowkeep literally like sets up Beyond Light so well.
Yeah.
Technically, if you would have done Shadowkeep before knowing about what's going on in Beyond Light, you would have been like, "Oh my god, what the hell happened?" So, I think you might still be because you guys really haven't followed it that much, but it's really cool. Like it is like they're just getting better and better at writing, and it's easily one of my favorite lore and written games at this point.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what Shadowkeep has to offer. The more me and Ron dive into it. So,
but Colin, anything else to say about the unreleased Destiny 2 DLC?
No. I mean I think they really conquered the whole season pass thing. Like I think their season pass is probably the best way to do a season pass. And the best way to do seasons in general. So I'm just more and more excited every time they do something now at this point. Because Bungie was already a highly sought after with Halo 3 basically, so they just keep nailing it on the head.
Yeah. I don't know. I've fallen out of the Destiny kind of stuff, and it's more of just like it's just a lot of time. It can be if you make it be a lot of time, but you know, just
Yeah, I've given up on Destiny.
yeah. You gave up back in like D1, I think. No, you
I
played a
played
bit of
D2.
D2. You did play D2. I think you finished the raid with us though, right? That might
D2
be
was
as far as you
better,
got.
but
Yeah.
I'm not. I can't get into it.
But Matt, what is your number one game? Or it's not
My
really an
number
order
one,
list, but what do you have
yeah,
as your
it's
number one?
definitely a game that you guys aren't familiar with, which is called Guilty Gear Strive.
What's
So
that?
what Guilty Gear Strive is a new fighting game released by Arc System Works, who I only know because they put out the Dragon Ball Fighters game that I have been playing a shitload over
Smacking
the
around a
last
lot.
year and a half. What'd you say?
It's in the game you've been smacking around a lot.
Whenever I looked at my the PlayStation roundup thingy,
Yeah.
Wrapped? Yeah.
yeah, my PlayStation Wrapped, it was my most played by a extremely significant margin,
Do you remember a ballpark number
like
on how many hours?
like over 100 hours.
More than one.
That's a lot for you.
Yeah, for me it is for sure. Because I mean I really love fighting games. I'm not good at fighting games. I will never claim to be good, but I do enjoy playing them and trying to learn them. And I really like how Dragon Ball plays. I think it's a blast. If you are at all interested in fighting games, it's like one of the games that's very easy to play but hard to master. So there's definitely a lot of room. Like if you just want like a casual fighter, it can do that for you. But if you want a fighter that you can actually sit down and learn, it can also do that for you. And I know that the game is currently in closed beta, so I'm pretty excited to hopefully get in the open beta and try it out for myself and see if it lives up to the quality that Dragon Ball was.
Well, what do you have to do to get in the closed beta? You might just have to get like on an email list.
You had to like, yeah, you had to get a code or something, but I had to have signed up like 6 months ago probably for that.
Send them a picture of your wrapped up, and maybe they'll do it.
You say, please, I played 100 hours of your
Pretty
game.
please.
Please.
I really love the video game. I'm really bad at the video game, but I love it.
I got better at Dragon Ball, but I'm still not like amazing.
It's no Injustice 2.
Yeah.
I was shit at Injustice 2. I was just better than all of y'all.
Not Injustice 1. Got my Aquaman, OP.
Yeah,
I mean,
the
yeah,
spam
sure.
character.
The crouch smack.
Yeah, just the spam character.
Love
The reach of a god.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, Matt, solid pick for your number
If
one.
we go back, you're probably getting washed.
I would
Thank
absolutely
you.
get destroyed. I'm not even gonna. Yeah,
I mean, hey, we can download it.
that is true.
I don't think you would want to.
I have the legendary edition for Injustice 2.
Yeah,
As do I, actually.
let's get it, boys. We got this. Zach,
Yo.
you are ending it off with your number one pick. What is
My number one pick, Ron, has a huge asterisk at the end because, as you feel, I do not believe it will be released in 2021. But that being said, my number one most anticipated game is the hypothetical game of the year of 2021, God of War Ragnarok. Yeah, I mean, what's there to say? God of War, the original remake, remaster, forward sequel of the game, was phenomenal. In the same boat, it is one of my favorite games of all time. And I'm really excited to see where they take this story because they left off with a huge cliffhanger.
absolutely?
And I'm very excited to see what happens. Corey Barlog and all the people over at Santa Monica, take your time, do whatever you got to do. I'll play it this year, or I'll play it next year, or I'll play it in the next 5 years. Whenever you feel the game's ready, I'm waiting.
Well, as long as they don't have the executives of CD Projekt Red, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Let's hope not.
Uh,
But boys, that wraps up our top 5 list, and now we have to go through our honorable mentions if we have any. I know I have a couple. Not sure if you guys do. But I can quickly just kick it off real quick with my honorable mentions. My number 3 is, this actually is in order for once as well too. But my number 3 is Biomutant. I am excited for that game. I know Zach kind of brought it back up to me before. I just forgot about it because it was talked about so long ago.
Easy to forget.
Yeah,
Easy to forget.
very easy to forget game. I'm excited for it. I'm looking forward to it releasing. I'm not sure if I'll get it, but I'm excited to see if it does well or not, or whatever, and then I'll kind of just go from there. My second one is Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, June 11th. Mark it on your calendar. We're getting it, boys. I don't know if it'll be a day one comp or not, but I'll definitely purchase it at some point though. And my last honorable mention is Deathloop. We all talked about it a whole lot. Far Cry 6 just barely beat it out for me. But Deathloop, I'm very excited to see how they use the controller, how the gameplay is. I really like, as Zach said, I really like the Groundhog Day-esque style that they're kind of going with for it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But those are my honorable mentions. I know I went through them pretty quick, but a lot of them we already talked about, so didn't want to keep talking about it. Colin, did you have any honorables prepped?
Yeah, I had 2. So I'm hoping for Diablo 4. We already discussed Diablo 4. And then I'm really hoping that today or tomorrow we hear something about Overwatch 2 this year instead of next year.
It's
yeah, I
gonna
was
be
gonna
next
say
year,
something like
bud.
that.
That's
I
what I'm thinking.
I would be shocked if we got it this year.
It just the problem is they're in such a drought of content right now that if they don't drop Overwatch 2 this year, they're going to be pissing off a lot of fans because once Echo came out, which has already been a year at this point,
It's crazy.
they didn't release any, they recently released a really crappy deathmatch map, which I don't really consider a content. Because if you can't play it in
Hanzo place?
No, it's stupid.
Hanzo.
It's cool.
It's really
I think it's
bad.
cool.
It's not fun because
I'm indifferent. I'm kind of with
Yeah,
Colin.
Echo
way too
really
open.
was last hero.
Yeah.
That was. She came out right
Yeah.
after we stopped playing. That was a long ass time ago.
Because she was there for even whenever they decided to do roll, or not roll locks, but
roll Q.
No, what I forget what they called it, but basically Jeff picked random people to or random heroes, I should say, to ban.
Oh, League, you mean?
Yeah, instead of allowing teams to choose who to ban, he would just ban random people every week.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That seems kind of cool. I'd like that as a mode to kind of try out. I mean, I wouldn't like it forever, I'm sure, but it'd be something interesting.
Keeps it more fresh.
Yeah, exactly.
The same 6 years every match.
Yeah. But anything else, Colin? You said you had 2 picks. You did already say them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really have too much more that I'm really looking forward to.
You have a lot that you need
It's
to play.
hard to be excited about games before E3. To be honest.
Honestly, it's really hard to be excited for games before their gameplay release, and even then you have to be really sketchy about it with CD Projekt Red's bullshit.
When was the Game Awards? In November?
December.
Beginning
December 10th, the day that Cyberpunk launched. So
just a solid drought before E3 when we got our major.
Yeah.
Shit.
I hope E3 sticks around.
Probably a topic we're gonna have to revisit once E3 drops.
Most likely, yeah.
Definitely, yeah. I hope E3 gets to stick around though, because Nintendo has Nintendo Direct.
It's gonna go for sure. You can't do it in person.
Yeah. Well, I just mean post-COVID world, in general, because it was already not doing too well.
That's where it gets iffy, especially with all that stuff, because a lot of things have been proven that they can just survive.
Yeah.
All over the internet, so it's kind of hard for these companies to justify running these sorts of events.
Exactly.
Granted, the city of LA makes a fucking mint.
Well, didn't they say they're already moving out of LA to Nevada?
It probably will happen.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, okay, even if it's not in LA, like let's say they move to Houston or something. Like Houston, the city, it makes a mint when these people roll into town. So I'm sure they'll be very excited to start rolling these events back in. Like I don't know if you guys know this, but Pittsburgh is has the largest furry convention in the country,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
the
I actually
city
did know that.
makes
Yeah.
a mint when these people
Yeah.
roll in. They welcome them back every year.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah, I
pretty like,
saw
cool fact that you wouldn't know unless you're a Yinzer.
Yeah. My school covered it
one
for
of
the news.
one of the kids in my one of my journalism classes. He did a story about how much money Cleveland lost after LeBron left.
Oh, I'm
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was a
Yeah,
lot. But yeah, even
twice, both times.
even with E3, whenever like for indie developers too, it's really good for them to be able to actually meet people and like meet the
Yeah.
community or meet other developers, other companies and stuff, and be able to connect and.
It's not even just that. It's also like Comic Cons
Mhm.
and like I play a lot of Magic, so like they rent out like these big centers and stuff for like big tournaments and shit. But Hasbro like rakes in money all of last year. Like it was literally the most profitable year, even
Yeah.
without all the in-person stuff. So really, no one knows what's gonna happen in the next like 12 months.
Yeah.
Granted, I don't think we'll see E3 until. I would be shocked if we see E3 next year in person. Probably not till 2023.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll
If
have to
it's
see.
in person, like they're gonna probably do something that's like
It'll probably
only
be like invite only, like only
yeah
like, the press and like family and friends will be able to go.
yeah
Yeah.
exactly, or people who previously attended, and then they'll do like a raffle, so that way they can
That's
keep like a
assuming they
50%
still.
capacity.
That's assuming like the people who are doing it still find it to be worth it, because
I mean,
for a lot of the developers, Nintendo figured it out, Sony's figuring it out now. It's only a matter of time before Xbox and all the
Well,
other
Xbox is doing their direct
Ubisofts and
too.
all that stuff.
They have like their stuff
Yeah,
that they're
just
doing. So
gonna. It just makes more sense to control that content and put it out when you're ready for it from a marketing perspective.
I think
But
I
yeah.
think the thing with it is E3 is such a well-known name, and because they do directs all the time, E3 is like where they announce their big stuff, you know?
No, for sure.
Yeah, but I'm saying I think that can change. I think that could start changing depending on how things go,
Anything can
especially with the
change.
way things are now.
I think people are going to be excited to go to E3, so the first year will probably have incredible attendance.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I'm sure of it. Everyone's gonna have such a fiend
I think
for
the first year back
conventions
for
and stuff.
everything is
Yeah,
gonna
it's gonna be
be
such
Yeah,
a
it's gonna
huge
be just
thing.
insane.
Music
I
festivals.
know a lot of
concerts,
people that
everything's
are
gonna be crazy.
actually scared to go back in public just after this kind of stuff,
Oh,
so I wouldn't
yeah,
be
I know
surprised
some
if
people
are too.
everything dies off at this point.
We'll have to see.
The first chance I get to travel, I'm doing it. Like,
yeah, events are gonna
I
thrive.
just
Like it doesn't even matter if people, like even the group of people who are gonna be too afraid to go out, like to a concert or something, there will be someone to fill in that seat for concerts.
for every one person that doesn't want to go, there's two who will.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the world that I'm seeing that is coming to
Yeah.
fruition. Whether I'm right or wrong, I mean, no one really knows.
But post COVID talk, Matt, did you have any honorables?
Come
He
back
had
to me.
his-
I actually like forgot them. I didn't write them down.
That's fine. That's fine.
Uh,
Zach, did you have honorables? I know you and I talked about it a little bit before the podcast.
Yeah, I mean, I have Far Cry 6. I'm looking forward to that game. Biomutant for sure. Still up in the air on like how that's gonna shake out and what's gonna do it. And then I have The Witcher, Monster Slayer, that I'm excited to see what happens with.
What is that again? Isn't that just like the board
it's
game?
the augmented reality type thing,
Oh.
like Pokemon and Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very iffy about it. I heard it. They're making there's like a
We'll see.
Kickstarter for a board game though. Board game card game for Witcher. I forget what it was
Yeah.
called, but the Kickstarter doesn't go live yet. I don't know. Anything CDPR right now is just very bad taste in my mouth. from
CDPR
everything.
will not get another dollar of my money.
No, I'm not going to give CDPR another dollar
Yeah.
until their executives quit.
Witcher 4 is gonna be a hard sell for me, or whatever Witcher game they do next. I'm sure I'll get it, but like it's.
Oh, I'm
gonna
sure
be-
I'm
yeah.
sure you will, but
Yeah.
Will I buy it? No.
Yeah. I don't know. It's gonna be it's gonna be like a we'll see type of thing, but who knows? It will probably be PlayStation 6 and Xbox Series 2
I mean,
whenever
it's
it
hard to
comes
recover
out.
from
So
that level of consumer confidence drop off.
yeah, absolutely. But yeah, Matt, did you think of any? We can wait a minute if you need to. It's that power of
Not
editing.
really. I mean, Overwatch 2. If we see anything, I'd be excited. I'm definitely buying when it comes out,
Mm-hmm.
whether that's this year, next year, 2 years from now.
I just
It
think
doesn't matter. I'll buy it.
they kind of have to do it this year at this point because they've already released a bunch of concepts last year, like in fully working like maps and stuff at
Mm-hmm.
the last BlizzCon, and then on top of that, like they haven't done anything new for this game besides a few characters here and there in a long time.
Or are we gonna get
Yeah.
Diablo and Overwatch 2 in the same year?
Probably, I can't see
it's
why they wouldn't.
Well, we were
Because I
possible.
mean,
supposed
it's
to
two
get
different
Overwatch 2 this
teams.
past December. Overwatch 2 should have been out already, but it just got delayed.
Well, it got delayed just because
I didn't even think they officially announced that
Overwatch
it was
has a really
happening.
fickle team. It doesn't
Yeah,
have to
they-
do
Like, how
really
can it?
with
How can
COVID.
it have come? How could it be scheduled to come out in December if we don't even have a trailer?
No, we had a trailer.
Yeah.
They had
Yeah,
gameplay
something.
at the
Yeah.
last
Like a
BlizzCon.
gameplay trailer?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could like play it at BlizzCon because of the new push thing. They were really pushing that.
Maybe I guess I'm out of loop.
We weren't on the radar, Matt. Honestly, I didn't
Nobody
really know too
talked
much about it.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
I
that's the thing.
as far
like,
as
it
I was
happened, they
concerned,
announced it.
Overwatch 2 was literally a rumor that they might have been
No,
working
Yeah,
on.
no, they talked
no,
about
it's
it a lot.
100.
At the
Like they
BlizzCon.
have gameplay for the new story. They had gameplay for
Oh, are we
the new
getting a single
modes.
player?
Yeah,
Yeah, single player I'm
That's like
excited
the
for.
main. That's
Very
like the main
excited.
thing about it. Yeah,
that's
honestly,
why
if
like
I wasn't working for the
I think they
Overwatch
have
team,
to do it at
I
this
would've
point because
completely lost it.
Overwatch 2 has been in production since Ana came out.
So like what? 2017, 2016?
That doesn't.
It came out in
surprise
No, that was like
2016,
20. No, she was like
Would've been
20.
2017. Would have been 2017.
Yeah.
When was Ana? Ana was only
when
a
it
few
dropped in
like 8 months
16.
after it came out.
Yeah.
It would have been 17.
Yeah.
Late 16, early 17.
Yeah.
Would have been one. Because actually, no, I think Ana came out right when we started playing. So it could have even been
Like
early,
playing,
late
yeah.
16. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Yeah, 'cause
late.
me and Matt were playing in
that
the
was
beta.
2016.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back
So
whenever
early
Bastion had a
16.
shield.
God, that game is so broken. But yeah, Matt, any other games that come to mind?
If we see anything from the new Lucas studio, any new Star Wars IP,
Well, Matt, there
I'm
could
excited.
there
Probably
could
won't. I assume we're not getting anything.
Matt, this might be a little fun tidbit for you, but I believe it is coming out this year. All of the Lego Star Wars games in
No,
one
I did.
collection.
the
I
Skywalker
knew that
Saga.
that was supposed to come out, but I
Yeah.
did not know when.
I believe
I
it's
honestly was a
2021.
little
I think it's
scared to
June.
bring it up
I think
because
it has
part of
June
me
as its
thought
date,
that
doesn't
it
it?
already came out.
Yeah, no, I thought it would have come out by now. I kind of forgot about it until
But
I
when
was like
that,
looking up
the
trailers and
Skywalker
stuff.
saga,
Yeah.
right? That's what
Yeah.
it's called.
If
Yeah, when
there's
that comes out,
multiplayer, I'll consider
buying
it.
it. I'm confident, dude.
No, I
Oh,
mean
it's
I
gonna
have to buy it
multiplayer.
just because it's like one of those things where like one, it's gonna have all the original ones in the newest piece of software and hardware. So it's just gonna be a blast.
Oh yeah, I'm buying.
Yeah. If it has online multiplayer, I'll consider it more than I already am, because I did really like the old Lego Star Wars games. I have like little fond memories of like the few times I've ever been to your house, Matt, just playing Lego Star Wars just like on your old Xbox, like way back in the day.
Lego Star Wars used to be like my favorite game of all time.
Yeah. No, you love that game.
100%ed that was like the first game I 100%ed, and probably still the only one that I ever 100%ed.
Oh,
I mean,
that game was so much fun.
once
Getting all
you've
the
done it, you
golden
don't need to do
bricks
any
or the
others.
red bricks, depending on each game.
Oh yeah, it's
Those
just
were
fun.
so
to
much
go in
fun.
Go in and collect them all.
The General Grievous fight, honestly, was so much fun. That was like one of my favorite.
The game,
Yeah,
just
I like
games in
it.
general are fantastic. So,
And I
looking
guess the
forward
rest
to
I'm
it.
just like playing by ear. I've honestly been having more fun going back and playing old games than buying new ones.
No, definitely. I mean, there hasn't been much that came out in 2020 compared to
Like I'd almost rather
2021.
go on like Steam and get like an old game that I haven't played for $5 than get a new one.
No, it's definitely fair. Or you just play Skyrim again. Just like everyone else.
Don't. I'll get upset.
But boys, that is going to wrap up this episode of Top 5. Thank you all so much for listening to this episode or watching it on YouTube. A little bit of technical difficulties there, so I'll figure out a little bit of editing for it. But I hope you all enjoyed this episode. You can catch it on YouTube, Spreaker, Stitcher, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. I think there's like 6 other platforms I threw this thing on. I think we're being verified on Amazon right now. Google Play apparently wasn't verified before, so maybe it will be on there now. Who knows? I have no idea. Or Google Music, whatever. Be sure to leave a comment and let us know if you agree with our lists. Be sure to leave a like, rating, and subscribe. It really helps that YouTube algorithm. And reach out to us if you have any ideas for topics. Usually we end up racking our brains at the end of the episodes to see what we can kind of come up with for the following week. But if you have a suggestion, be sure to leave it below. We'll give you a shout out in the next podcast if we choose your topic. But that's all.
Who knows? Maybe the next podcast will be top 5 Matt laughs.
That's number 1. Little Waluigi laugh. But thank you all so much for listening to this episode. We'll see you all next Sunday.